Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth, and if you're feeling charitable, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, so you never miss anything. Look, why would you want to miss this? Pop over to my Twitter at MoviesTVMad. So, Brandon Routh has been talking to the legend that is Michael Rosenbaum, who played the greatest Lex Luthor on Smallville. And one of the things he said was that Superman Returns didn't pan out how he expected. So there's lots. I think we won't know a lot of Brandon's experiences within the set with Brian and what really happened there. I think that Brandon Routh, as Superman, did a fabulous job. He really did. I think he articulated Superman in such a brilliant way. He was supposed to be playing Christopher Reeve's Superman, and Bryan Singer was trying to get him to echo that. That's where the mistake was. He should have been a brand new Superman. And I think that's the direction the film was going in, because Bryan Singer wanted to send a love letter to Richard Donner about a movie, Superman the movie. For many people like myself, Superman the movie is the Don. It's still an amazing film, right? But to try and get this guy to kind of impersonate Chris's Superman, I mean, you don't cast Brandon Routh to impersonate Christopher Reeve. People say, oh my God, he looks like Christopher Reeve. I don't actually think he does. Yeah, he's got the high jawline and all that, but he doesn't look like Christopher Reeve. It should never have been Christopher Reeve's Superman. Brandon Routh is a great guy. Brandon Routh was a great Clark Kent. Brandon Routh was an even better Superman in Superman Returns. And if they allowed him to play his own Superman as part of an interconnected universe, let's say with the beginnings being Batman Begins, that would have been amazing. But the mistake here was trying to get him to impersonate Christopher Reeve. Nobody can do that. Christopher Reeve is an amazing Superman. Even now when I see him, I think, wow, this guy was beyond his years. This guy was amazing Superman. I wouldn't have fallen in love with the character without Christopher Reeve. But I think Brandon Routh, and I think Bryan Singer as well, whatever people say about his activities outside of the film set, I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to discuss Superman Returns very briefly. But the point is, you don't get Brandon Routh to try and be Christopher Reeve, and that was the mistake. Bring him in, Brian, do your own Superman movie. And, you know, it's when I hear Brian talk recently or a few years ago that he basically said he wouldn't have cast Brandon, that's so disrespectful. And he would have cast Matt Bomer, who's a fabulous actor, by the way. You should see him in Doom Patrol. He's amazing. But come off it. That's just so disrespectful. Superman Returns wasn't a failure. Well, it wasn't a flop, but it didn't make the money WB wanted. And it certainly wasn't the Superman film people wanted to see. But at the end of the day, I thought Brandon was amazing. And I thought Brian got a great performance out of Brandon. I really do. And I think he was a great Superman. If you go and check out that Return to Krypton sequence, it's amazing. But it was very hard for me to watch Brandon talking to Michael in that interview and see how disappointed he was. Because this guy was a soap actor. This guy had his big break. And for anyone getting their big break in this industry, especially as Superman, it's a big deal when you think this could be the moment I arrive. For Christ's sake, he was playing Superman. Why shouldn't it have been the big break for him? Now, he's done very well in Arrowverse, and he's about to leave that as well, but he was a great Superman. And people not liking that film had nothing to do with Brandon Routh. There was even a petition for him to be cast in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. But unfortunately, Zack didn't want to go in that direction, because I think Brandon Routh is a great Superman. And he showed again in the Arrowverse crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths. He's a great Superman. And I won't hear anything said about him, but just to see his disappointment and to see how it all went wrong for him and it didn't pan out, as he says, the way he wanted it or the way he expected. And that's a shame. And unfortunately, that's on Bryan Singer, because at that time, we had a Green Lantern film in 2009, wasn't it? And we had a Batman film in 2005, Batman Begins. This could have been a beginning of a DC cinematic universe, beating Marvel and Fake to the punch. Imagine where we would have been now. But for me, Brandon Routh is a great Superman, and I'll always value him as Superman. I'll be back with more videos. See you again soon.